All right, do you want to move on to the architectural?
Yes. I'd like to call Mr. Fred Schmidt. Mr. Schmidt, will you just briefly give your qualifications to the board, please?
Certainly. My name is Frederick Schmidt.
May I swear you in, sir?
I'm sorry?
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Have 4 architectural licenses, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts. I hold a master's and a bachelor's in architecture from Cornell University, 1984 and 1987. I've been practicing with my wife since 1988, and we have we've probably testified in front of 50 municipalities or so. I don't believe I've been to the planning board in Princeton recently, but we've just finished with the SPRAB twice and the zoning board, successful application at the zoning board.
Thank you. We accept that.
Thank you, Mr. Schmidt. Thank you.
Please proceed.
I forgot the number, frankly. We're up there quite a bit. I think Jim's lost track. But slide 39, if the board can take a look, are the architectural elevations of the building. The 4 sides, of course. Probably as a preface to, Charlie came to us and really the concept of the building is, in a way, as a continuity or a continuation of a modest campus or a continuation of his commercial properties there, where they're tied together in some fairly strong manner, so they hold together visually and functionally, but also that from that as a starting point to enhance or really bring the property to 21st century standards, particularly in terms of some of the environmental criteria and engineering sort of nuts and bolts of the structure. So you'll see on those 4 views, if you compare those to 1000 Herringtown, they're similar. We're using the same brick as a base or a field, and then we've had a little more, we've loosened up some of the brick patterns in the surface to give a little, it's just sort of a trompe l'oeil of different readings of bays and some stripes and things, but in general, very similar to 1000 Herringtown, similar window system, Cornier aluminum, upgraded in terms of their components, but similar aesthetic, tinted windows. It's 28 feet high to the cornice, and then the roof screen is 7 feet high to conceal, obviously, the 2 rooftop units. And, I think the important thing is, again, that it becomes part of Charlie's overall view there of along Herringtown Road as you drive toward 206. Next slide are details of some of the site components, and there are 2 site sections that are showing the general grading condition, and then a cut, if you took a large saw and cut through the structure, both cross and longitudinally, you would see the relationship also to the saved properties sort of ghosted in, and you can see that while the office structure sits up a bit, it's not there's really not a huge slope in either axis, and you can see relative heights to the saved buildings and what we're proposing, of course. So it is a 2-story structure. You'll see on the right side of the slide a typical wall section, which is giving you some indication of the envelope, and I'll go back to the energy things in a bit, but that's indicative of ceiling heights and window heights and things. Dumpster enclosure and 2 alternates for a sign out on Herringtown Road. I think everyone, certainly on our team, and I think the SPRAB, thought that using the natural stone as a base was a more interesting way to do it than more brick. But I think that probably might be open to discussion in that regard, but we're trying to utilize some of the found elements on the property. Go ahead, Jim, if you can. Thank you. And then the floor plans, it's a 96 by 130 foot structure. It's 2 stories, as I said. It's steel frame, metal stud and brick veneer building, no basement, no attic components, fully sprinkled, of course, fully handicap compliant. And typical with most speculative structures, the core is sort of the goal is to make that as compact as possible. So you'll see 2 stairs and an elevator and common toilet rooms. The elevator and one of the staircases is in the trade, they call it gurney capable, where you can possibly have medical use as a tenant, and of course for EMS access. Hopefully we won't see any emergencies, but if someone took ill, on second floor or whatever, that person can be brought out by EMS folks. And quick roof plan, there's 2 rooftop units. There's a couple skylights that aid in the daylighting component of the environmental benefits. And then you'll see the perimeter of the roof screen, and that's restricted by your ordinance, and we conform to the general size of that. Energy-wise, environmentally, it is, it's well beyond the sort of investment-grade building. It's the envelope is enhanced quite a bit. It has a white TPO roof, which rejects quite a bit of heat, and it will meet the cool roof requirements. The window system, we'd like to use the Cornier Ultra. It's a new product that Cornier's come out with that is thermally broken, both the glazing, of course, but also the aluminum components, so that you get less heat transfer, heat loss, or heat gain through the actual aluminum. The water usage is ratcheted down quite a bit. All the fixtures are quite efficient in terms of water usage. We have pretty much state-of-the-art HVAC control systems, like a train tracker or similar control package that allows, or not really allows, but controls the HVAC to be monitored very carefully, so that you're not, the equipment is not running wastefully in odd conditions or in the evening, or whatever. The insulation, we've brought the insulation up quite a bit from the R21, which is a minimum for a commercial structure, and I believe it's R24. We'll spray foam that, so that will, the envelope's very tight. Trying to think. LED lighting, of course. All the lighting will be LED, and some of the site lighting, as Jim mentioned, the site lighting will be solar powered at this point. I mean, if we can get, Charlie did do a feasibility study, and the shade is creating some issues with the how effective that solar array would be on the roof, and he's a big proponent of it, but it's just not. It doesn't seem quite to be as the payoff won't be there on this particular parcel. I think that's really about all that I have to project for you guys. The office uses, if I can help Mrs. Trotman, typically the building code, both the building code and most municipalities, the offices are defined very generally. So an architect or an attorney or, whoever may occupy those spaces, in general, the use is very, very similar, in terms of intensity or staff or medical uses are typically considered a bit more intense, and again, it depends on the practice. So if you're a specialty group, whatever, cardiologist, you have low turnover, of course, where if you're pediatric practice or ENT or something, obviously the turnover for that practice is much higher. So it's sort of averaged out, if you will, both on the construction side and quite often on the on the municipal zoning side. So that as a speculative building, you're not going to, you won't be able to pin it down too much more specifically than that, I don't believe. But I don't think Charlie has any real complete target market that he's after really at this point. He's willing to go with the flow a bit and see what, what the market will bear. But his buildings are highly, perfectly maintained, and they're well built, and it'll be a high caliber structure for sure.
Questions, anyone?
Any questions?